the German fascist forces began their offensive on Moscow. The enemy pierced deep into our defense at various points, taking advantage of superiority in manpower and material. The march of the fascist barbarians was marked by horrifying scenes of suffering. The Hitlerites shot and hanged innocent people. But the bullets of the guerrilla fighters clipped off the enemy at every step. The guerrilla movement distracted a force of nearly 5 German divisions. By the beginning of winter, the Germans, who were worn down by the defense and counter-blows of the Soviet forces, had to halt their offensive and sit it out in trenches. The Hitlerites realized that although they were at the approaches of Moscow, they were still far from the city, but Hitler didn't realize this. He thought that the fall of Moscow was a matter of days. He imagined that the fascist swastika would soon wave over the Kremlin. These days, as always, the leaders of the party and government were with the people, raising the morale of the troops and inspiring confidence in victory of cultural treasures. This is how the troops found Tchaikovsky's home in Klin. Yasnaya Polyana, the estate of Count Leo Tolstoy. The great writer's study was turned into a stable. Tolstoy's grave was defiled by this proximity to a Hitlerite graveyard. Heroic Leningrad, gripped by the pincers of blockade, lived through a terrible winter in 1941. There was no water, no fuel, no light. Day followed day in methodical artillery shelling and air raids. In these conditions, the population of Leningrad fought, resisted, and worked. The bread ration was only 125 grams a day. The Hitlerites had already prepared special passes for vehicles to drive through Leningrad, but the Leningrad Communist Party organization and the command of the Leningrad Front had their own view on the matter. Although it seemed that there was no way out, a way out was found. The city was blocked on all sides, but there was a small stretch of Lake Ladoga, about 100 miles from shore to shore. A road was laid on the ice. It was called the Road of Life. This is how ties were established with the mainland, and the entire country hurried to the assistance of the hero city. Later, when a railway was laid along the southern shore of Lake Ladoga, evacuation of women, children, old people and invalids began. But the situation still remained difficult. Not only Leningrad, but the entire country. Hitler prepared for his march eastwards. He saw himself alongside Frederick of Barbarossa and Wilhelm the Conqueror. And not only alongside, but above them, at the apex of his glory. He gave the plan